you've talked about this on stage. You have been cheated on.
Yes.
What was that like?
I've been cheated on. Okay. So this is what's actually kind of funny about the okay. From the top. Okay.
Yeah, give us the whole story.
It's kind of a weird situation. So I actually think that I've probably been cheated on more than I know.
Haven't we all?
Any more questions? But so before I had like a very serious relationship. I talk about this part on stage. When I was in my early 20s, I was dating this guy. We dated for like, oh my God. It's funny because like in my mind, I'm like, it was years and years, but like really from top to bottom, it was probably only 3 years.
Okay.
Which is
But
a
that's
long
like
time. It's significant.
especially at that like stage in your life where you're like, you're 21. That's
Totally.
like 10%, over 10% of your life.
Exactly. So I think I met him when I was like, maybe like 23 or 24. Anyways, he had never... and it's also funny how I do not care if I put this guy on blast. Like I literally don't care at all. So we like met, we started dating. He was living at home.
Okay.
But this is the thing about him is he was very driven, very focused. So he was living at home because he was saving money. And then that's what he did. He moved from his mom's house into a place that he owned.
Oh, wow.
So but he immediately was like, how do you use a washing machine?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
How old is this man at this point?
He's 25.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
He was literally like, wait, who makes my lunch when I leave?
Oh, God.
And I was like,
wait, were you living with him?
so I wasn't officially living with him, but we were like pseudo living together.
Okay.
And part of like him, like when I went and helped him find the place that he ultimately bought. Like the intention was always like, you will eventually live here, which I did. I eventually moved in with him, but it was like jarring to be like, oh, I'm mommy. I'm literally mommy now. It was so spook. Anyway.
Yeah. And you're like already had this barista job. Like you're already employed.
Oh,
you didn't need to be mommy.
I did not need to be mommy. No, I actually had a big girl job at the time.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's progressively been going downhill. In case you haven't noticed the thread, the younger I was, the more I had it together. And so, but because he really did, like he had a vision and he was very focused. Put a pin in that. So we're dating. But you know, as a woman, when something is off. I think actually just in general, people like, they know.
The moon tells us.
The moon is like, hello.
Your period
is coming. And also, where's your boyfriend? Check his phone. So anyways, I always had this like weird, there was like multiple things that had happened that I was like, that's off. And this is so, okay, I'll spare you the details because we'll literally be here all day. But there was like, he went to Vegas with his friends and this dumb ass man is showing me photos from his trip.
No.
And he's in a bed with another woman. And I'm like, are you so, but then am I so stupid because I didn't break up with it? And he was like, oh my God, I know it looks bad. We were just hanging out. So of course, like, I know my brain hadn't fully developed yet. Cut me some slack.
Yeah. Your prefrontal cortex was not online.
We were still working on her.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I believe you. You're on this crazy trip. There's girls in the hotel room. Nothing physical happened. Okay, sure, whatever. I believe you. But then it's so funny how like, in every instance with this guy, it's like he was his own demise. So now fast forward, we're like trying to buy, I also have a joke about this, but like we're trying to buy a couch for this apartment that we live in. Have you heard this joke before?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
So we're living in this condo. We're couch shopping. This man cannot make a decision by himself. He can't do anything by himself. He's useless. Okay. Needs a woman there. Can't survive.
Yeah, did you ever like wipe his ass? Like sounds like he needed
I can't
full
talk
mommy.
about it on camera.
Okay, fair enough.
That's where I draw the line.
I respect that. That's a good line to have. So you're looking for couches.
We're looking for couches. And then one day I'm just like, I can't be there because I have it. Like this was a day when I'm like, I'm working, like I can't go. I was like taking time off work. I was doing so much to like be there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you just go to this one store by yourself? And he was like, yes, I can. I actually think he went with his mom, TBH. He goes to the store. He's like, I think I found a couch. I feel good about it. He shows me a picture. He's like, I think I'm going to pull the trigger. I feel good about it. I'm like, okay, great. Fast forward like a week later, he's like, let's go see a movie. My phone's in the other room. Actually, I'm sorry. We hadn't actually moved in together yet. But basically we're living together.
Yeah.
And he goes, take my phone, look up movie times, hands me his phone. Great. Normal. He gets a text from this woman being like, hey, it was so nice hanging out with you. Like blah, blah, blah. Let me know when you want to get together again. It was like very flirty. There was like a winky face. And I'm like, hey, stupid, what's this? And it was the woman. It was a woman that he met at the furniture store.
No.
Yes.
No.
And and his reasoning, I'm like, sorry, what's going on? Long story long, he's like, I met this woman, then I went out for coffee with her.
Why?
He says he was flirting with her to get a discount on the couch.
Couches are expensive. And you were like, thanks, baby. Like you're looking at
and I was just literally like, I was like glitching. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, we have like a slut couch. Like, what is this? Like, what is this? I don't understand. Like, it was so great. But then of course what happened is I was like, were you going to try and hook up with her? Like, what is happening?
Right.
And he basically was like, I might have cheated on you. And so he hadn't, sorry, to be clear, he hadn't.
Okay.
And then,
but he would have. Is what
he's
he
like,
was confessing that.
So we break up, blah, 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 blah. Long story, even longer. We eventually get back together.
No,
I know, I'm embarrassed.
Allie.
I'm embarrassed. Wait, it gets so much worse.
No, okay.
We buy a house together. We move in together. We buy a house together. Then I go to a wedding, actually, and I meet a guy, this random guy, and I laugh with him. And I'm like, oh, I've never laughed with my boyfriend before. And I have this revelation that I'm like, I need to break up with him.
Because you, like, a man made you laugh.
Yeah.
And it made your pussy
and
clap
I mean,
a
like,
little
it
bit,
wasn't like nothing happened between me and this guy, but I was like, oh, I realized I'm not happy in this relationship. So we break up. Years later, he is like, still DMing me, and like he has a girlfriend. Like he's so all over the place, this guy. Anyway, I feel like I'm going on way too long about this.
No, this is so fascinating.
Okay. Because like that's a whole other story in itself. Like anyway, whatever.
Wow.
We buy a house, but now we own a home together. So it's like a disaster trying to split things up.
Of course, yeah.
And he comes to he shows up drunk at a show.
Oh my God. At your
but
place
he has
of
a
work.
girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Because he was like, anyways.
Did you know he was coming, or he just like appears
I didn't know
there?
he was coming.
Oh.
I didn't know he was coming. And all of a sudden he was like, hash all this stuff out from the past. And he's like,
oh my God, that's so disrespectful. Yeah. You're like, one, I'm working. Also, I need to get on stage in like 10 minutes.
Also, go
fuck yourself.
away.
Yeah. You literally saw this show like what on your Instagram or something and was like, I'm just going to come to this location.
Yeah.
Ew, that's so creepy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then he's like, he's so wasted. And like, and he tried to kiss me.
No.
Yeah. And then I had this like weird moment where I'm like, wait, if you're cheating on, I'm like doing the beautiful mind. I'm like, if you're trying to cheat on your girlfriend, then who were you cheating on? And I'm like, did you ever cheat on me when we were together? And he just admitted it. He was like, yeah, I cheated on you like a bunch.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And he's like, but kiss me.
What the fuck?
I know.
What type of like brand of mental illness is that? Like, I genuinely wonder. Like,
oh my God, I don't know, but
obviously there's some mommy issues.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, but his mom was so sweet.
I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was.
I actually think it was daddy issues. TBH.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah. Bad relationship with his dad.
I actually think I know 5 men who have a good relationship with their dad.
Yeah. It's very rare
in the world. Like,
it's very rare.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare.
Allie, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What was going through your head when you thought you wanted to get back together with this man?
Oh God. I don't know. I think I was like really blinded by my feelings for him. And I was just like, oh, low self-esteem, probably. Who knows? Let's not worry too much about it.
We'll leave it in the morning pages. We'll leave that in the morning pages.
We'll leave it in the morning pages. We'll leave it on the page.
Yeah, just let it burn.
Yeah, just let it burn. But I honestly think it was such a blessing to go through that with him, because then after that relationship ended, I was like, oh, I don't want to date anyone who doesn't make me feel amazing, who doesn't make me laugh, who isn't like a great time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I feel so bad for my downstairs neighbors for the noise and like partly sex, but also because we're howling up in our apartment all day long.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I do feel bad for anyone who lives below us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to have a good time.